So a while back I reviewed the show called Another Life. Look, there's my review just above the Another Life official trailer in a search for Another Life. That's a bit embarrassing. I mean, YouTube knows what people want to see, I guess. Boy, that's a skill that Netflix could sure learn from. For anyone who's unfamiliar with Another Life, just watch my review. It's great. It's really, really good. It's much better than the show. But that video is like an hour, so for anyone who wants like a just the tip version, there is a real, genuine theory going around about Another Life that it is bad on purpose as part of a data mining experiment by Netflix to test the tolerance of general audiences to bad content. The most significant piece of evidence that's cited to support this theory is that the show is just that bad. In sci-fi classics like Doctor Who, Star Wars, or Star Trek, they make up fictional science that doesn't have a precedent in real life, which is fine, it's fiction. Faster-than-light ships aren't actually real, believe it or not, and pointing that out isn't a valid way to criticize any of these things. Another Life, on the other hand, about 1 million times per episode, will try to invoke real science while getting it just fundamentally wrong because they don't know what they're talking about.
Drop frequency down to 1 hertz a second and drop it into infrasound.
The unit of measurement, hertz, refers to something happening once per second. So saying drop the frequency to 1 hertz per second is kind of like saying drop the speed to 1 mile per hour. Hertz per second is a frequency drift. It's the change of the frequency. He said to drop the frequency down by 1 hertz per second. This makes perfect sense. Dropping the sound by 1 hertz per second might not be bullshit. It might mean that you change the pitch 1 hertz every second. He says drop it by 1 hertz per second. Minor nitpick, but wouldn't hertz per second be an accurate way to describe the acceleration or deceleration of the sound? We hear the frequency slowly drop by this. The only problem I have with your review, I agree with you, JX. Okay, I got a lot of these. The first person I mentioned here even ended their comment with, so it makes it fun when you're saying they're wrong about this basic thing, when you're the one being wrong. Right, you cheeky fucking bugger. Right, okay. Oh my god, you even went through my comments and replied to loads of people telling them how wrong I am as well. Right, okay. JXE destroys his own audience with facts and logic. 2020 colorized, let's go. People are right. Saying hertz per second is a completely valid way to describe how many hertz you want something to change by in a second. Just like if you're driving a car and it takes you a minute to accelerate to 100 kilometers per hour, then you accelerated by 100 kilometers per hour per minute. And while I was saying that Eric, the character in the show, had said drop the frequency to 1 hertz per second, people were telling me that he was actually saying to drop the frequency by 1 hertz per second. Which isn't as stupid. But let's see what the fucking subtitles have to say about this, shall we?
Drop frequency down to 1 hertz a second and drop it into infrasound.
Oh my god, what? I was right. Oh. When I make minor mistakes, I don't draw this much attention to it. But in fairness, even if I was wrong about that and he actually did say drop it by 1 hertz per second, the show still wouldn't have got it right. In the show, they lower the music into infrasound, or very low frequency sound. With a rate of change of 1 hertz per second, it would actually have taken them several minutes to reach their goal. In the show, however, it's almost instant. Alright, so I'm going to accelerate this pen at a rate of 1 mile per hour. So at that rate, it's going to take 1 hour to reach a speed of 1 mile per hour. And now this show is bad for a lot of reasons, not just inaccurate science, but I'm having fun. Basically, the whole plot of the show starts because the main cast on their spaceship encounter a cloud of dark matter, which they can't navigate through because it's black. And they can't see through it. This is about as plausible as the crew not being able to navigate because their view is being blocked by a giant celestial cloud of spaghetti bolognese. I mean, but I'd actually much prefer to watch that show. But no, they actually wrote that the plot started because there was a cloud of dark matter blocking their view. Let's see what happens when you Google, what is dark matter? Click on, I don't know, the first result, and then let it play for 20 seconds.
Dark matter and dark energy, both of which are invisible.
I think they just heard the word dark. But if you're someone who thinks that even when science fiction invokes real-world science, that it doesn't actually have to be accurate because it's fiction, Another Life also fails to a fairly equal degree at everything else it attempts to do. I find a great way to demonstrate how stupid Another Life is to just tell you what happens in it. Another Life follows a team of idiots on a mission to make first contact with aliens. A small alien bug creature nibbles through a wire in a box in the ship's hangar, which causes the ship to nearly be completely destroyed in 2 separate ways. Fuck, that must have been an important wire. Shit. In an episode very soon after, a saboteur tries to destroy the ship, but instead of just cutting through a random wire, or maybe even, get this, 2 random wires, that would be double the damage. He tries to take over the ship's AI. Fortunately for the saboteur, the AI just happens to be glitching out anyway because it's just been rejected by the ship's captain, who it's fallen in love with, and had recently had sex with in a situation where she was incapable of giving consent. Wow, I can't imagine why she would have rejected him after that. It's okay, don't worry. He forgives her. Now, if that sounds amazing to you, then I have some very exciting news. Are you ready for this?
2.
2. 2. 2. Another life.
2.
2. 2. 2. Another life. 2.
That's right, everyone. Another Life is officially coming back for season 2.
Announcing this on Twitter seemed like a really good idea. Tragic news, shocking news, everything about this show stinks. Good God, no. No offense, I love your work, but this show was a train wreck. Please make sure the writers know what the fuck they're doing this time around. So I'm just not understanding who the fuck rates shows like this. 6% on Rotten Tomatoes? What were they looking for? I really like the idea of the show. 10 out of 10, will watch. Have you seen it? Like the show all you want, that's cool. I'm not salty, I'm a bit. But if you're going to tell me that the show is a production of high quality, you're going to tell me that you don't understand why people would rate it low. What does it take, in your eyes, for a show to be bad? Like, genuine question. Like, this does everything wrong. I'm not gonna lie, there's plenty of positivity in this thread, which is surprising, but it is there. But we're getting a season 2, guys! How exciting! Ooh! So, having watched the show multiple times in order to review it, I still have absolutely no idea why it's even called Another Life. It's not a story about a character living a double life or the afterlife or something. Another Life is just seemingly a random title. This is kind of similar to the tagline that was pasted over all the marketing for season 1, which was Choose Humanity. The story is about a bunch of humans on their way to make first contact with aliens, who then discover that the aliens are hostile. At what point do I need to choose humanity during that? Obviously I'm gonna choose humanity. They're the ones that aren't trying to kill humanity. Why is this written on all your posters? It has nothing to do with the show. And it's at this point that I point out that Netflix decided to fund a second season of Another Life, but they cancelled BoJack Horseman. They cancelled Tuca and Bertie. They cancelled Daredevil, but Another Life, now that gets to keep on chugging. This seems like a great thing for Netflix to fund. The show that people genuinely think is bad on purpose as an experiment. BoJack Horseman is genuinely the best written cartoon I've ever seen. Fuck, I might even be able to extend that to TV shows in general. BoJack Horseman has such compelling character writing that it's able to pull off an episode with no dialogue for like 20 minutes, an episode that's taken up entirely by a 20-minute monologue, and episodes that are just fully dreams. In fact, no, I take that back. It doesn't just pull them off, it excels with them. And on top of that all, the show includes some of the cleverest comedy I've seen in my life. In fact, one of the only jokes I've ever heard that could top it is Netflix deciding to fund more Another Life, but can miss. And if you're wondering, yes, it absolutely was the higher-ups at Netflix who decided that the show should end, as confirmed by cast member Aaron Paul. Tuca and Bertie, while not up to the quality of BoJack, was still a show finding its feet and was canned after just 1 season. While I personally didn't find it particularly compelling when I watched it, I could absolutely recognize the writing talent that was on display. You know, it's a well-made show that just didn't resonate with me personally. Thought and care had clearly been put into it, and it never really got a chance to find its audience because it was cancelled so quickly. Another Life fails on basically every conceivable metric by which you can gauge writing quality. And finally, Daredevil, well, I'll be honest, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's good. But you know what? I do have a friend who's seen it, so, Fringy, go!
Daredevil is one of the best superhero TV shows ever made, its quality being absolutely befitting of its source material. I honestly struggle to find things about Daredevil which I dislike. It's headed by a fantastic cast who play a set of interesting, multifaceted characters, each with their own strengths and failings. It's a show which confronts the ethical quandaries which invariably come with being a superhero, and it broaches this topic wonderfully. From a technical standpoint, it's almost without peer. Excellent fight choreography is complemented by superb cinematography and beautiful atmospheric lighting. Daredevil is, without a doubt, one of the MCU's strongest stories, and it was cancelled far too soon.
So man, how does it compare to Another Life?
I don't even... Imagine you sit down in a nice fancy restaurant and are presented with 2 dishes. The first dish, Daredevil, is a juicy roast turkey served with golden brown potatoes and gravy. The second dish, Another Life, is a bowl of molten lead.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, obviously, I don't understand the inner workings of Netflix. I'm not actually on the inside. There are any number of factors that could have contributed to this decision. In fact, the cancellation of Daredevil is likely not even the fault of Netflix. It's probably more to do with Disney launching Disney Plus, although that excuse only covers one of these 4 decisions. Anything from contracts to budgeting could have forced someone's hand in this matter, but the fact of the matter is that we don't know that. All that we as the consumers get to see is the embarrassing results of that. All we have is yet another harsh reminder that giant corporate entities don't really care about art, which is kind of depressing, but hey, that's the world we live in until we can do something about it with our wallets. But that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you want to check out Fringy and some more of what he does, his channel link is in the description. But that's everything. And yes, I will be reviewing season 2 when it comes out.